Good afternoon. Beautiful day here in South Florida. Welcome to another edition of Focus on Liberia. Today is a special edition that is bound to be very interesting. We have barely a consensus. Usually it is I against my brother Tulay, but today we have a common interest, something that is actually beholden to both of us, which is we want to look at the Liberty Party and everything that is shaking the foundations of the Liberty Party. With me is Tulay, who is actually a founding member of the Liberty Party. I have an interest in Liberty Party because obviously, as you know, I am from Grand Bassa County, and the party is known to be a Bassa party or founded by the Bassa people. So yes, it is an inheritance to some degree. So I do have a vested interest, even though I have a different political affiliation. For what has happened now into this party concerns everyone from the Bassa Belt and those who put in their sweat, their blood, and their life savings to worship and follow and believe in the dream of the founding father, Mr. Charles Bronski, the former standard bearer and the vision bearer of the party. So we are going to look at the political party today in its totality. And from us who are political pundits or opinion folks, we are going to be talking to Mr. Tulay, who was there from the beginning. We are not talking about they say he was there. He knows the ins and outs of the Liberty Party. He knows the core values of the Liberty Party. He knows what the political party stands for. We are going to be looking at those things and those things that are now affecting the political party. Mr. Tulay, welcome again to another edition of the show, and tell me what is it that is actually boiling down, because I know you feel sorry, you feel angry, you feel disappointed, but yet and still you are hopeful that the party can be wrestled from their base. What says you?
Hey, I just want to say greetings to those people who always tune into our show to watch it. I want to encourage you to share the video, all right, so more people can get in here to spend the afternoon, the 1 hour, 20 minutes with us. It's very important that this topic is very important. It's very germane, and it's important to me as, like you rightly said, as a founding member of Liberty Party, and as somebody who supported the party, who have supported the party since its inception from 2005, 2004. They switched over to Liberty Party, and then from the first convention to the first election, all the way to where we are today. I've been with Liberty Party, and Bromsky is no longer the political leader. Peace be to his ashes, may his soul rest in peace. But he birthed something in me. All right, and I'm so proud. I'm so proud to call that man my political father. So we're going to be looking into Liberty Party and where it stands today. For me, looking at all the controversies and all the back and forth, my main focus is how we can rescue and recalibrate and restore the party to the values espoused by Councillor Charles Walker Bromsky. Nothing else is more important to me, because conflicts are a part of human existence. But mistakes are also ingrained in who we are as humans. But the thing is, when the mistakes are made, what do we do? Do we double down and continue making the mistakes, or do we say, okay, it's time to recalibrate, it's time to rethink our whole approach to this matter, and it's time to reassert ourselves and follow the original vision of the party? Because let me be honest with you, anyone who stands in the stead of Charles Bromsky must walk the walk of Charles Bromsky. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. When I met with Honorable Bronsky in 2004, it was a call meeting between me and Honorable Bronsky at the Monrovia College by the late Dr. G. Franklin Hope, who was the president at the time of AMU and former principal of Bassett High School, my former principal. And he wanted me to join Bronsky to see how we could work together as one. And one of the things that I asked Bronsky was, what is the core value of the Liberty Party? What is it that the Liberty Party was trying to achieve. Now, in any political dispensation, there has to be something that will rally around. Since you were there, what is it that the Liberty Party hope that the Liberian people will rally around that will bring about our change? Since you were there, what is it other than what he told me or what most politicians say, the rule of law, the rule of law, the rule of law? It has to be a little more than that. What is the core value that we need to share that is now lacking in the Liberty Party?
It's not lacking. It's still there because many of us that follow Charles Bronski we didn't just follow a political ideology. We followed a man who had very few contradictions. Yeah, very few contradictions. Why do I say this? And going back from the beginning, we look upon our political landscape and we see a lot of political actors and many people come into the political landscape, tell people, follow me. I'm a political leader. I have a dream to rule Liberia. I have a dream to make our country better. And you'll find a lot of people will stand and raise banners and say, this is who I am. But when you scrutinize them and you look keenly in who they are, their personality, there's a disparity between the message they carry and the life that they live. So many people, you see it, and then people still keep following such individuals. I'm not one person to follow such persons. I'm not a person who will follow anybody who carry that kind of contradiction. Like I said, Councillor Bronski have very few contradictions. You follow him from the message he from how he talked and how he lived. There were very few contradictions in the lifestyle. He believed in being very scrupulous. He believed in being very honest. He was the all on the table guy. Was he perfect? No, he wasn't perfect. But he was somebody who believed that Liberia could be different. He believed that the rule of law, he said the fundamental problem in Liberia is that people do not respect the Constitution. People do not live to the dictates of the rule of the law. And that is the foundational issue in Liberia. So what Liberty Party was about, it was not just about the dreams of Councillor Charles Walker Bronski, but it was more, it was Liberty Party was life to some of us. Okay? He showed us that things could be different, that things could be done differently. He didn't believe in corruption. He didn't believe in any didiba. No. I gave you a common example where all this thing, the foundation of this thing, the senator from Lofa County, Steve Zago, did not really wholeheartedly support the candidacy of Councillor Bronski in 2017. In 2017, there were issues when Musa Berede became the chair, the campaign chair of the party. He and Steve Zago were not on the same page. And as a result, Steve Zago had his misgivings. And also looking at the political landscape, he was more leaning towards the Vice President Borkai. He openly supported, conspicuously supported Borkai in the second round. Guess what? With all of that, Councillor Bronski still thought to make Steve Zago chairman of the party in 2018. It shows a man who had come a long way, because before I knew him to be somebody who had his reservations and he would cut people off when he felt slighted. But he had come a long way. He had matured. Unfortunately for us at that time, he wasn't feeling very well. But I'm just saying that Liberty Party was not just a party for us. It was a way of life. That's why the institution remains. Many people, when the founding bearer leaves, the party wavers. Today, we are the second largest constituency in the CPP. There's a reason for that. You know, there's a serious reason for that. It's because the party as an institution stands.
Well, I'd like to push back on that because if the party was built on constitutionality and it was an institution, I think Musa Belete on one of the shows made a case why he wouldn't be the chair of the political party until certain things change. And that principle was that the party in its formation get absolute power to the standard bearer, the vision bearer, okay? the party get absolute power to Bronsky, and Bronsky was the judge, the jury, and the executioner. Now, the absence of Bronsky, we are seeing what is happening here. The man is not there, and we're finding out that basically this was just a house of cards, straw man he built. Where you got to defend him on that because it's falling apart. Things are falling apart.
It's not, nothing is falling apart. Nothing is falling apart. The institutions within the party still remain. This is a disagreement, and it's personal because of the history between the individuals involved. It doesn't mean that the party is going to collapse. All of us say here that we all question the whole issue of making Bility the chairman of Liberty Party. I question it because I know the man. I know the man. There is nowhere this guy has gone and he has left the place unscathed. There's nowhere he has gone and left the place clean. He takes trouble everywhere he goes because of his burn of his personality, his burn, who he is. That's just who he is. And I knew there was potential problem for Liberty Party down the road, and we've seen it today. There is nothing strange about this. Let me say this to you: crises are a part of our institutional life. Anywhere you go, there will be crisis. The issue on the ground is maturity dictates how crises are handled. Unfortunately, the polarization within the party is growing stronger and stronger every day. But there are also actors in the back and say, hey, this is not who we stand for. Let's see what we can do about this. Let's see how we can mitigate these circumstances. Let's see how we can tune down the rhetoric. Let's see how we can bridge the gaps that are widening every day. So Liberty Party is in safe. It is in a safe place. It's going to be fine. It's going to be okay. Well, I'll be honest with you. Okay, now to your question about putting all the powers in the hands of the how you call it, the political
vision bearer. That's
the vision bearer of the party. He had certain powers. He had certain powers. He was the vision bearer. He did not insist on these things. He did not insist. Like for instance, one of the things that were left for him was that he would say who the party would support after a first round, going to the second round. I was in the room in 2005 when Madam Salif King, I was at the hotel. I forgot the name of the hotel. Where was it El Mazon or whatever on Kerry Street? I forgot the name of the hotel now. It slipped my mind. I was in the room where Ellie Johnson Salif King to ask him for his support in the second round against George Weah. I was in the room at the office on Benson Street when George Weah came to ask him for his support in 2005. And I know what he says. He said the people will decide whoever they want to support. I, in my good conscience, cannot say I support either of you. I was there. I'm not saying somebody told me. I was in the room. I was in the room at the hotel. I was in the room at the party headquarters when George Weah came and when Ellen Johnson said he came. So if you ask, that is how the party was established. There were no rancor. People who wanted to undermine, people who saw it as a different, as someone like Isaac Jackson, who decided that, he didn't want to be hungry for too long. He had to get on the Ellen bandwagon. And the way he felt to get on the Ellen bandwagon was to lambast and insult Councillor Bronsky. He did what he had to do. He did the job that he wanted to do. But guess what? Liberty Party still remains. And today, he's on the outside looking in, making noise, expecting that Bility will be the one to bring him back within the mainstream of the party. He has no confidence. No one has any confidence in him in the party because we know where he was in terms of how Councillor Bronsky saw him. So the thing is this. Bronsky, yes, did he have a lot of political power within the party? He did. Did the people give it to him? Yes, they did. It wasn't something that he took. People believed in this man. They will go anywhere. This man said, let's go. Let's go. I had an accident in Lofa in 2005. Okay? Because as tired as I was, just coming from Nimba County back to Monrovia in the night, 11 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, we're on the way back to Lofa County. And unfortunately for me, I fell asleep at the wheel. So I had an accident. I would have died because I believe in him. But it would have been fine. I think I would be smiling in my grave because I believed in that man. And I think Liberia missed a day of visitation because that man did not become president. He had standards and he would have helped our country.
Okay, now, I understand. I think let me bring you back to a little quick history here, and this is directly from Councilor Bronsky's own mouth when he said, uh, "God and the angels were traveling over Africa, West Africa in particular. When they got over West Africa, God asks Angel Gabriel. He said, "What country is that? It's shining bright over there." Then Gabriel said, "Oh God, that is Ghana." And he said, "Wow, Ghana has done very well." And then he looked on his left, he saw the Africans, lights everywhere. Beautiful. He said, "This is Africa." He said, "Wow, they have done well." They passed over Gabon. They saw Gabon. Gabon is well lit. He says, "Beautiful. These people have done very well." And as they drove west, about an hour, as they flew over Liberia, he saw the dark, very dark spot. And he said, "Oh, there must be Liberia." And Gabriel said, "Hey, God, how do you know that this was Liberia?" He said, "Because I know since I gave this place to these people 200 years ago, they have done absolutely nothing. This is a failed people." Now here you are, a man who listened to God himself said this, that has seen political party rise and fall since 1847, build his institution around one single individual, knowing that when he died, the party will die. Today, Liberty Party is in total shambles. Now let's look at some numbers. At the height of Bronsky in 2005, the general elections, he had 13.9% of the total national vote. 2017, he was down to 8.7%. And even unknown political party called PUP won 13 out of the 73 seats in the House. So we are saying the man died and the party have died with him. Some are saying the party was sold to liberty, to Ability by Bronsky, someone they call the inheritance, which is Nyobli Kanga and Darius Dillon. And those two folks, according to Ability, the $20,000, the transportation they got, and all of those deals that were made. Okay, so how now can you tell me that the party still exists when it's in shambles? It's actually, you and I are actually doing an autopsy. This party is not going anywhere.
You see, when you talk like this, sometimes I just want to move on to another topic, because what you are saying is so far from the reality that exists on the ground. Liberty Party still have a political leader. Liberty Party has a chairman that is beleaguered. We agree. Nobody is questioning the political leadership of Nyobli Kanga. Nobody. Anybody who questions the political leadership of Nyobli Kanga right now are those who are haters, like someone like Arthur Jackson, who's a blabber mob.
No, I want to push back on that, because the leadership of Nyobli Kanga was brought into disrepute by the NEC when she herself does not know why she's where she's at. She doesn't even know her own constitution. She doesn't even know the bylaws. When the NEC said the Liberty Party has its own channels of resolving issues, and that dictates how the party is run, and they should return to status quo and begin the process all over.
That doesn't mean that you shouldn't get to next first. That doesn't mean you shouldn't get to next first. You see, you got to put things in perspective. Resolving before you can start resolving something, before you can call parties together, you need a higher. If there is a crisis and the party is polarized, you need a dictate back into the party from an extended authoritative force. And the authoritative force, when it comes to political parties in Liberia, it's NEC constitutionally. So before you can say let's resolve stuff in the party, go to NEC. Let NEC say, NEC wasn't rebuking her. The fact of the matter is this: the issue on the ground is ability, just like the way you're saying today, that Charles Bronsky almost unilaterally created the constitution of the party that was adopted in 2015. It's the same thing you are saying today, that we can say today that ability unilaterally created the power in the party that made him an administrative a chair of the party, stripping the power away from the political leader. It should have been by consensus. It should have been by agreement that the constitutional power within the party is given to the the chairman, not taking by the chairman. He took what wasn't given to him because that's who he is. He wants to dictate things. And the only reason for doing this is because the George Weah, the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and George Weah is standing, and I mean, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is machinating all these things from the background. Why? Because she wants Cummings to be president instead of Joe Buckeye. It's as simple as that. Why? Because Cummings had already made an undertaking to Madam Sirleaf that there will be no scrutiny of her reign of power or reign of terror in Liberia for 12 years. There will be no scrutiny of her reign of terror in Liberia for 50 years. That includes Nimba raid. That includes November 12th. That includes 1989, and that includes Law Rebel. That includes Unimo K and Unimo J. There will be no scrutiny of the actions of Madam Sirleaf. That is what she's trying to ensure. So why? She needs somebody. The only reason why Charles Bronski is not president today, I'm telling you, is because Madam Sirleaf thought about the fact that there will be no way that Charles Bronski will give her a clean slate and allow her to go scot-free. There would have been accountability. She knew it. So that's the reason why she worked against him being president. That's why the fact that she had an undertaking with ECOWAS. So today, she had already, that's the reason I saw Belete is complaining that Delon said he supports Omer Buckeye. What has Belete been doing? Belete has been going with Cummings on the road. He's been going with Cummings on the road, showing face what Cummings is doing. His counter tour, Belete takes the counter tour with Cummings. Which one you want to talk about? Somebody go to a studio and say, I support you, or the other person who goes around the country with you, with another man? Who is more giving his support to somebody outside of the party while he's chairman of the party? So let's look at these things in something. The thing is this. The problems in the party today, you said the party is dead, we're going on top. Say, no, it's not dead. I say to you, frankly, and to any Liberian listening to me, we have the second largest constituency in Liberia, and we will keep that constituency. That is what is priced. Let me give you, before you come in quickly, let me give you some facts here. ALP is a member of the CPP, and we know that Benedict Ure supports the candidacy of Joe Buckeye. UP supports the candidacy of Joe Buckeye. That's over 600 delegates votes. The remaining 600 plus delegate votes, 660 or 630 delegates votes, is ANC and Liberty Party. If Liberty Party goes with Omer Buckeye, is a done deal. It becomes a tie if all the 315 Liberty Party delegates goes with Cummings on the ANC side in a convention, CPP convention. So this is the fight. And guess what? It's not just that simple. The Bassa Belt, apart from that, I keep telling you, the women vote and all these different things are very important when it comes to the CPP. And they know it. And Madam Sirleaf is the one that is in the background telegraphing all these actions. So, bro, Liberty Party is not dead. It remains supreme. It's alive. And guess what? Liberty Party will outlive this brouhaha or this fracas, and the problems will be resolved, because right now the problem is back again with the advisory committee. All right, and the advisory committee will take a stand. They will look into the issue, and they will make an advisement back to NEC or to the political leader and the chairman. It will get back to NEC, and the problem will be resolved. The thing is this: we will kick Belete out of our party. It's just a matter of time.
Okay.
My words.
Ladies and gentlemen, as usual, this is a beautiful program, and our parent company, Focus on Liberia, has to keep the lights on. This company has to do everything it can. It has been doing it for the past 4 years without the help of our people. We have enjoyed the program. We have enjoyed the different music, the work they do, the quality of work they do. The company is now asking us to help as much as we can. There's a cash app number there. You can help by donating $25 a year, a month. If you enjoy this show, just like we do on National Public Radio, NPR, you can be a donor. to this. If you like what you are seeing, if you like the literary hour, you can selectively say, I'm donating my $25 or my $50 to the literary show. I'm donating my money to the African, the diaspora show, or to On Point. Whatever show you like, whatever one you like, you can support it through making your generous contribution. The cash out number is on the line as it scroll across. We ask that you please make a general donation to keep this show on the air so we can actually build an institution. When the guys and the girls that came up with this idea, if something happens to them, we want this show to continue as we are talking about building institutions. So please make a donation. The number there is 612-433-4365. Thank you, and you can make your donation 24/7, 7 days a week, anytime, any place. Mr.
Gayman? Mr. Gayman?
Yes.
There are questions about who are the people in Liberty Party that are capable of arbitrating conflicts and bringing resolution to disagreements. One of the things that people don't know is that Liberty Party has people, men and women of repute, men and women of experience and wealth. I'm not talking about children. The only thing about it is because of the polarizing nature of our how you call it, our politics, many of them choose to stay in the background. Some of them are members of the executive committee, and some of them are members of the executive council. The advisory council. The reason why that these people like I'm answering the question about the kinds of people within the party. Like I said, these are men that when they stand and they intervene in a crisis, people will listen because they are established, because they have accomplished stuff, and they are members of the Liberian community living in Liberia. I'm telling you, lawyers, administrators, business people, but they don't want, because you see, the funny thing about Liberian politics is this: by the time I'm not with you, then that means my contracts can't go on any longer. All right. If I say I'm with this party, then that means I suffer as a businessman. But a lot of people don't want to be victims. They believe in Liberty Party. They believe in what the party stands for. And I can assure anybody listening to us that those people are standing in the party right now and saying, let this thing die down. Let this thing die down. I am not speaking officially on behalf of the party. Let me just give that disclaimer here.
Mr. Tulay, first of all, I wouldn't believe a word you say with all due respect. When we're talking about believing in principle, believing something that you love, something that you care for dearly, in the absence of a leader like Bromsky, I think it is worth your business, it is worth your contract, if you believe that your nation is at stake. So I'll take that for a grain of salt. Now, let me look at you, for example. Can I ask you whether you are an actual participant or due-paying member, decision-making member of the Liberty Party as of today?
I'm far removed from Liberty Party right now. I live in Canada. I have very little on the ground impact in Liberia. People still talk to me from the political leader. I talk to people of importance within the party, both internationally and locally, advisory council members, executive council members. I have my influence. But if you ask me if I'm in Liberia, no, I'm not in Liberia. Have I paid dues in the last couple of years since I've been in Liberia? No, I haven't paid dues. Because there have not been a well-established due payment process in Liberty Party. And that's just the truth. I used to pay dues. Am I a card carry member? Yes, I am a card carry member. But like I said, I believe in being honest and frank. I've not been paying dues. If you ask me what impact do I have on the ground, I live out of Liberia. Okay, I have impact, but my impact is if you ask me, I would say negligible, because you're not on the ground. Okay, the reason why you see Cummings, the boy Bronsky, all of them had to go back to Liberia, because if you're not on the ground, you can only come on a show like this and try to say those who listen, you can have an impact with them. But your real impact is felt when you are in Liberia on the ground. Mr. Gayman, let me tell you, My wife and I, when we were in Liberia for Liberty Party, we don't have to praise ourselves. Go ask the people in the party, they will tell you what we did, what we have done for Liberty Party, the work that we did. The work that we did. My wife will let an entire auxiliary in a party. Okay? I was one of those that when Bronski wanted something done, he will call upon because he knows that when I go, I'll get things done. I don't come back with excuses. So in life, people change. I'm not in the country anymore. Bronski is no longer alive. He's not president. If I was there right now, I'll be one of the hands upon which the current political leader rests on. Because we have that relationship. I call her Big Sis. We have a relationship before Liberty Party.
Beautiful.
Okay?
Beautiful.
So I call her Big Sis. So we have a very close relationship. And I know if I was in Liberia today, I'll be one of those that, when they say the hand of the king, I'll be one of her hands.
Beautiful. Now, we're going to leave time for us to take some calls. If you are a Liberty Party partisan and you have some concerns and you have some ideas, and you want to join the show, you can call. I think Mr. Tulay will be here to answer any question as it relates to the Liberty Party. You have comments, we'll read the comments, and we'll have enough time for us to actually answer each of those comments as in the past. We want to leave enough time for you to call. If you have the time, call. The numbers are scrolling right across the screen, and we will be able to take your call. And our engineers in the background, whenever there's a call, please don't hesitate to bring them on so we can have the discussion, because this is a discussion that needs to be interactive. Our Liberian folks, our partisans, and those who are on the other side that are fighting, because the Liberty Party is in the fight for its life. It got ALP on the other side, it got Unity Party, it got ANC. So the Liberty Party is actually in a fight.
And Mr. Gayman, you made a statement. You said you were trying to look at the numbers, how the numbers changed from 2005 to the politics in Liberia changed. It did not diminish the influence of Charles Walker Bromsky. It want to show. Let me say something to you. What I know now, as somebody who has studied ethical hacking, what I know now is I can tell you that our election process is not secure at all. Okay, I can also tell you that the numbers that come out of NEC from 2005, I saw that the numbers flipped. I saw the numbers changed because guess what? After the election, if anybody went anywhere, my wife went one side of Liberia, I went on one side of Liberia, and I talked to presiding officers. I took the tally sheets from the presiding officers, and we compared it to what NEC was reporting in 2005. The disparity was not only huge, it was monstrous. So we know that elections can be swung anyway. Those who control the algorithm want to swing it. I give you a common example. Blairbo Brown today, he's senator from Maryland County. He did not win. He did not win Beaufort Chambers in that senatorial race, but he was made senator of Maryland County.
Okay.
He did not win. I remember that Vani Sirleaf was sent to Maryland County, and the NEC officer in Maryland reported a different number from what was tallied in Maryland County. So, bro, when it comes to Liberia, we can't say everything. We will say what can be said, what should be said. Thank you.
Let's go to the line. I think we got a caller there. Caller, tell us where you're calling from, your name and where you're calling from.
My name is J. Michael Suya, and I call you from Nairobi, Kenya.
Welcome, my brother. What's on your mind?
Thank you. I've listened to your guest, Mr. Tulay. I've known the Liberty Party from 2005, but right after the election in 2011, we tried to join the Liberty Party. But what is happening is a long-standing history. You see, I don't know whether the political leader have forgotten with the role that Musa Bilete played at the LFA when her husband was the deputy to him. You see, Musa Bilete and the late Adolph Lawrence, they had issues. I mean, that led to the defeat of Adolph Lawrence for his third term. as Vice President for Operation of the Liberia Football Association.
Yeah.
So coming, breaking into the Liberty Party, it was a serious mistake. She's my big sister, but I believe that it was a serious mistake bringing Musa Belete as a chairman to the Liberty Party. And today what is happening, I mean, whatever thing that was done during the convention in Banga, people complain. Members of the party complain. Even the time when Sanvi was being endorsed as Kanneh during the senatorial election for Musorado County, I was in that meeting. And we saw how things were done. People who I came from District 15 in Loki Town, but we did not have our voice. We were only called to go and grace the occasion, not knowing what was happening, and statement was read. So there are so many things that happen within the Liberty Party. I believe the Liberty Party needs to do something to put a house in order, because if they do not do that, there will be serious issue, because this code issue going from one place to another, all these things can derail the morale of the party.
Yeah.
It is good to go to court. But why are you going to court for? And with whom are you going to court? Seeing the political leader and the chairman going to court or going to neck. All these issues. So if these two people cannot hold together, then where is the political party going? Where is the party going? Then lastly, I listened to Mr. Tulay that he does not pay due because he's out of the country. I think he said there is no such thing in terms of paying due. So how do you think the party is going to survive?
That's a good point.
I think it was one of the reasons why people say allegedly that those who were heading the Liberty Party took money from Musa Belete. But I don't believe that. Because how do you sustain a political party when people are not paying due regularly?
You have a very very good point there.
Yes.
We need to pay dues. I would pay more than dues to sustain Liberty Party right now. Okay, yeah. I would pay dues. I'll pay more than just dues to sustain Liberty Party right now. We want the institution to stand. And what you are saying, there is no counter argument to what you're saying. The institution must stand, and the way it stands is by establishing a system of accountability. You collect dues, you make reports of the dues to the partisans, let them know and see where their money is going, so that we don't have to depend on any individual that comes as a cash cow and say, yeah, I can rescue you financially. You don't have to worry about anything financially. Just give me political power in the party. That is wrong. So I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Well,
thank you. So before I leave the land, I must also admit the late Councillor Blonsky, he was a man of integrity. I think I wrote something like that on your screen.
Yeah.
Because even Darius DeLong, Senator DeLong, left the councillor in 2011 when the councillor needed more support from his closer friends. Darius DeLong left and supported the councillor over Madam Salif. And the reason Darius DeLong gave, he supported Madam Salif over the councillor. Okay. Because the reason he gave, he said Madam Salif was the lesser evil. But we saw again the councillor accepted him after he came as a prodigal child. Mm-hmm. So some of these things that we see happening in the Liberty Party, they had a very long beginning. But again, the political leader has to stand strong. She has to, overlook some things like the councillor did. So thank you so much for having me on your show.
Before you leave, real quick, did he leave? Okay. Last week you heard Dara Dillon repeating himself by not going through the process and the channel of leadership, and unilaterally endorsed the candidature of Dr. Joseph Boakai without the process of the political will and policy and procedure of the Liberty Party. What do you think about that?
But this is not the first time of Senator DeLon. With all due respect that I have for him, it is not the first time. He supported Manasseh Lee when, in fact, the party had a candidate during the election in 2011. So this is not the first time. But doing it at this time, it undermines also the progress of the party. Because if you are discussing Liberty Party, you cannot leave Darrell DeLon out. He has a major role to play in Liberty Party. So, assuming that he has a candidate of interest, that should be done in the last minute and then at this time. Because coming all to support that Mr. Bwaka, or the former vice president, it means that whatever that will be done, because selection of, how do we call it, delegates, are listening to chairmanability, that, people will have independent voices during the convention. Those are all false. We know how conventions and primaries are held in Liberia. Cash violence are used. I don't know whether NEC2 don't have laws on that, because people use money. People influence voters during conventions. So that should be also a crime under our law. Because if you select somebody wrongfully based upon cash and that person is sentenced as a standard bearer, what if that person wins? It becomes a problem for the state. So people should be selected based on integrity, based on their work they have done in their community and places they have worked over the years.
Thank you very much. And for our international callers, thank you. For our international caller, go ahead.
All right. Let me, Mr. Gayman, let me give a response to the caller who was just on the line. First off, DeLon, was he right for making that statement now? No, he wasn't right. That I support Ambassador Borkai, His Excellency. Was Benete right from the moment he became chairman of the party, even before he became chairman of the party, to go on nationwide tour with Alex Cummings? He wasn't right. The same crime we're accusing DeLon of now, Benete had done worse. He just did not make a pronouncement. But actions speak so loud sometimes we don't hear your words. So we've heard Benete's actions. We've seen what he has done. The issue here is the political leader of Liberty Party is in a state of transition, both mentally and experientially. Initially, she was just a caretaker political leader. Councillor Bronski was going on sabbatical. He was looking for somebody trustworthy who could steer the affairs of the party without rancor, without issues. He knew that he could trust her. He was the political godfather of the party. Senator Kanneh had been primarily the senator of Grand Bassa County for thinking about Liberty Party, because her major constituency, her first love and her devotion had been to Grand Bassa. And I've had conversations with her, and it's now that you see her, she has transitioned from just being Grand Bassa County senator to being a national leader. And it's not a process that is established in one day. So she has been in that thing. But the thing is also, again, he made a very salient point. I told you, anywhere Musa goes, there has to be rancor. When he was the chair of the Liberian Airport Authority, there was issue, court and all. He went to court on an indictment from the Liberian government for embezzlement from LRA, which is the Liberian Airport Authority, LAA. Musa was at LFA. He made Adolf Lawrence, the late, peace be to his ashes, his arch enemy, and he stopped him from being the vice president of the LFA. He did enough machinations to remove this guy from there. he was also the one again that was in the background before he became chair. He was also in the one working in the background with people that he established some pseudo coalition with, that includes the political leader of Liberty Party and Dillon and a host of others, to remove Zago from being chair of the party. Why? Because what Zago did was, in some people's eyes, very reprehensible. While we had a candidate on the ballot and you are a party senator, you support another candidate from another party. So some people could not just reconcile the issue. It made them to say this man does not deserve to be chair of the party. But the whole process of removing of Zago wasn't right. I question Article 78, Section E, to a certain extent, but it's ambiguous. So the ambiguity in that constitutional provision was something anybody can stand on and exploit. And they exploited it, and they call for elections, and they removed Steve Zago. And they didn't want to remove Steve Zago. Listen, they removed people who are institutions within Liberty Party. Someone like Jacob Smith. He was Secretary General of the party from day one. He never vowed for any other political office. He didn't want to go anywhere else. He is a party mainstay. Belete engineer, the remover of Zago, the remover of Jacob Smith, and the remover of Clark Edward Tulay. Because he did not agree with these people and he wanted to control the party. He knew that these people being in power, even if he removed Steve Zago, Tulay is a lawyer. Jacob Smith is very learned and he's experienced. They would not have allowed him to run roughshod over the party. So he had to engineer, remove them, and bring Martin Sekola and other people. These are the evil machinations, evil occurrences, evil actions in the background. People bought into it because it's not only because of cash, but because of the way Belete sells himself. At the end of the day, he's not going to stop. His ultimate is not just political authority within the party as chairman, but the ultimate is take whatever money we are hearing out there, 5 million from this guy, and buy all the votes so that this guy can secure the CPP candidacy. That is the goal.
Okay, let's go to our comments. If we don't have any callers on the line, let's go to our comments and address them. Our engineer, do we have any comments? Okay, while we are sorting the comments out, let's go to this particular part of the party. The Liberty Party has been accused of being a Bassa party. That beyond Grand Bassa County, Liberty Party have not made any strive at all to say we are a national party. Liberty Party beyond Grand Bassa County, when you look at the numbers from all the elections, it has made very little dent outside of Grand Bassa County. What says you that we're in the vanguard of the strategy of the national party?
It's a laughable statement. It's ridiculous if you ask me. Steve Zago is senator for Lofa County from how you call the place name? Lofa. Liberty Party from Lofa County. Foya district, where the vice president came from when he was within the Unity Party. A young man who came to me when he wanted to run, the first person he talked to in the party, he came and walked up to me and said he wanted to have a meeting with councilor. And I said, why? He explained to me why he wanted to have this meeting. What was the guy that passed away? Oh God, Paka, Eugene Falak Paka. I remember very well coming with his chest open. He was wearing a silver bracelet. I can never forget that day. I always reminded him. He walked up to me, and then he and myself went into the side, and we had a meeting before I arranged for him to meet with councilor. When he ran on Liberty Party in Foya district and won. My man, listen. It's predominantly yes, because Bronski comes from Grand Bassa County. But if you ask me, we had Edith Gongro where just almost won the elections in Nimba County. Something did happened there. We don't know what happened. She didn't win. That's Liberty Party. If you, we had somebody from Nima County run on our ticket. We had somebody from what was the place name? Bon County run our ticket. We had somebody run from Bombing County on our ticket. So if you ask me, Liberty Party is predominantly Grand Bassa, but look at the people that have led Liberty Party. Or the chairs. Fonati Kofa is from another county. Steve Zago is from another county. What's his name? The guy, Holder is from another county. I'm talking about the people who have been chairman of the party. It's from Montserrat. Holder is from Montserrat County. We've had a good number of seats from Montserrat County. And other places also. Clarice Ja from Margibi. You would somebody would say, "Oh, the Bassa belt," but yes, that's who he was. He was a Bassa man, and people came after him because they believed, not only because they believed that he had values, but they had a common affinity. The Bassa people felt that this guy knew the vernacular, he could speak Bassa, and they could communicate with him. So it's not only Grand Bassa County, but the entire Bassa belt, all the way to Nima County, and Margibi and Bong. So if you, for me, it's not an issue. It's not an issue. Judge Weah is in power today. The majority of Judge Weah's how you call it, appointments are from the southeast. The majority of the appointments are from the southeast because that's who he believed in. He believed that they will watch his interest. So I don't see it as an issue.
Well, the Liberty Party.
Oh, they say we're not taking calls. I don't know. Maybe our guys step. You can call the numbers that have been available. If you have the number, call. We're taking calls. We will soon. If you call, I'm very sure our guys are there to connect you. The people in the back room will connect you so you can call again. Go ahead, Mr. Gayman.
Yes, can we go to the comment section? Are you seeing the comment section? Our engineer is ready for the comment section. If not, then we need to go to this. Okay, there you go. We have Hamilton Zilli. Most of our politicians in Liberia do not stand for any morals and values. They are driven by personal egos. When you think about that, we just talk about party being built around personalities instead of institutions.
Yeah, but like I was saying, for the situation in Liberty Party, Charles Bronski was an institutionalist. He tried to build an institution. That's why the institution is still prominent. There are people who die and their institutions vanished. Well, it's still prominent. It's still in the national discourse. Yes, there is rancor. Yeah, there's disagreement. But guess what? The advisory council has the disagreement and will be resolved.
Well, we hope so. Let's go to Francis Manning. Liberty Party is dead. Senator Lawrence and her boyfriend Dylan her boyfriend Dylan agreed for the vice presidential candidate from UP. And to Bertrand, what Francis is saying.
No. You should correct this before you even go anywhere with it. You can't just read the statement and allow it to stand, Mr. Gayman.
But listen to this.
Mr. Gayman, you can't allow this statement to stand.
What is it that you do the correction? We are here.
He said no, because you started going. I can't always cut you off.
Please do.
Said Senator Lawrence and her boyfriend Dylan. We don't allow such comments to stand on our show. We're not playing.
You make the correction.
Okay, I'm making a correction now. There is no way in hell that Dylan is the boyfriend of Senator Kanga. It's not possible. They are like brother and sister. If you don't know, let me tell you today. It's not because you see the problem in Liberian people, we are so warped in our mentality. When you see two persons collaborating and being close together, then there must be something untoward between them. That kind of thinking that's why we are where we are as a nation.
Okay, let's go to the next comment. Darlene Wildwood, Liberty Party is in public auction. The highest bidder will take it home. What do you think about that? According to the paper that I'm looking at here, according to Front Page Africa, it says here Liberty Party sold for pickups, and the author of that opinion piece was Simeon Freeman.
Okay, Simeon Freeman is mistaken. Let me give you the history because people need to know stuff instead of listening to street talk. In 2011, the last legal election that Ellen could partake in constitutionally as a presidential candidate, There, Kufuor, the former president of Ghana, and several other people came to Liberia and met. They met with Councillor Bromsky. I wasn't at that meeting. At Golden Key Hotel, right? There's a hotel just around.
Yes, Golden Key. That's correct.
Yeah, next to SKD Stadium there, right? Okay, so they met at Golden Key Hotel, and in those meetings, I wasn't there, but I was told there were undertakings by ECOWAS and saying, "Look, we want you to support this process. Let Madam Saliu go second term. We, ECOWAS, we have looked on the political landscape, and we think that you are the one who will give support to in 2017. Just let her be." That's how they even say, "Okay, yeah, send the man to ECOWAS and everything." Or procedure she started and reneged on and sent Gateway McIntosh. Let's come forward. In 2017, the money, the cars, the pickups that you saw with Liberty Party did not come from Musa Belete or Madam Salif. The money, the cars, the pickups, and everything that came to Liberty Party, it came through Madam Salif to Musa Belete, because Madam Salif is a strategist. She knew what she wanted to do. She wanted to have influence within the party. How else could she do it? Even though it was Dangote, Alhaji Aliko Dangote sent $2 million through ECOWAS to Madam Salif, through Musa, to which Madam Salif sent Musa Belete. That's how he became campaign manager of the Liberty Party. Irrespective of everything people say about Musa, he was just a conduit. He was the errand boy of Madam Salif. It was ECOWAS that sent that money. Dangote gave $2 million to support Bronsky candidacy.
Well, I do not have any proof. And let's go to the next comment. Let's go to the next comment.
No, let me just make the last point.
Okay.
That whole process was derailed when Madam Sally had a conversation with Charles Bronsky about the issue of legal scrutiny after she left office.
Okay. Dave Jazz said, at that point, perhaps Kanneh was the chairman of the CPP, and Belete, being member of the CPP, were right to travel with him. As the chairman of the CPP, it was not based on, according to him, according to this logic, was not based on endorsement, but he had to go because he was the chair of the party and he supported the chair of the party. What says you?
The same thing we say, convenience. We can always spin the story to suit our narrative at the end of the day.
Okay, it's next comment, please.
Mm-hmm.
Next comment. Darlene Warwood. Hamilton Zeli, the ordinary, everyday Liberian, are encouraging their behavior. They praise, sing, and cheer them on. Well, we said the same thing here. Okay, Flomo 8700. Why you think Ellie Johnson Sally don't want to support her former vice president? Why? Tell me.
Sally doesn't want legal accountability. She doesn't want anyone to come and say, I give you a common example. All of us accuse Ellen people of all kinds of malfeasance and impropriety, Mr. Gayman. A lot of people accuse them of different malfeasance and impropriety. You myself, we sitting today. Have George Weah audited the Ellen Sediu government? Has he commissioned an audit 4 years into his presidency now? As he said, let's audit what my predecessor did, even not for anything, just to know what you were given. You yourself, you run business. If you're taking one manager away from a particular portfolio to another place, and you want to audit and see what all he did and how he ran his office, how he implemented, especially when he has to handle budget, you want to see what he did with the money, especially when he had exclusive right on expenditure. You want to check and see. Madam said he left. George Weah took over the government. She said, I left money. He said, you didn't leave money. Did he say, okay, since you say you left money, I see you didn't leave money, I'm going to commission a government-wide audit. Every minister is going to be commissioned. What George Weah did, he handicapped his own government by allowing people from Ellen Sediu government to stay in office. That is what we're talking about right now. So you cannot say everything we're hearing is just based on people explaining stuff to fit the narrative.
Mr. Tulay, we got 10 minutes to go. if we can wrap it up here and see,
People
we
are
are
trying to
talking
call.
about.
People are trying to call. If any, there are 1 or 2 persons who really want to make calls, they can call and make their points.
Yes, please. We got 10 minutes. You can make a call, and the call that if you are international is 651. The WhatsApp number is 651-399-1614 for the international callers. You can call. We still got a few more minutes that you can make your point. I know this is very important to those who are in the CPP, especially those who are of the calling of Councilor Brunsky and the Liberty Party. For those of us who know that this is the calling, and for me, I know for fact that this was brought on by complete incompetence on the leadership of the party. Where there is incompetence, this is what happens. Everything falls apart. It becomes a straw man, and we are talking about the struggle of power here. Mr. Billiter is saying the changes that were made to the Constitution were made to divest power from the top, and it was agreed upon from the folks. The Nyobli Kanga folks said they want the power exclusively as it was. They want status quo. That Brunsky was calling the shot in its totality, and the leader of the party should be able to call that shot. And she wants to harbor all the power as Councilor Brunsky had. And Liberty Party, Mr. Billiter and his group is saying, no, we have to divest the party. Go ahead.
The issue is far from what you're saying. Nobody had a problem. Let me tell you something. If Billiter was a man of honesty and integrity, the crisis would not have existed. Everybody thought he was an institutionalist. He believed in Liberty Party. That's what people thought. Handing over Liberty Party, the reins of the party to Billiter, it wasn't a mistake in the minds of those who assisted him to get the reins. But when they understood the nefarious nature of his actions, when they understood the motive for what he was doing, they decided that they were going to put a halt to it. That is the crux of this matter. The crux of the matter is, it's not that they choose to give him political power, but when they saw that this political power had a very bad end, because at the end of the day, let me tell you something, Mr. Gayman, for free. I spoke to somebody just yesterday, almost 2 hours. This person runs an NGO, and they have gone, or they don't run the NGO anyway, they run a project within an international NGO, and they've toured the country and gone places, and they've had interactions with people all across Liberia. Starting from Monrovia, and the person was telling me that they have spoken with people from government who occupy positions, who are saying that they're only praying for the elections to come because there is no way in their minds that they will vote again for George Weah.
We have a caller on the line.
Good.
1 minute. Go ahead. Caller, where you calling from and your name?
Caller, go ahead.
Ambassador Jimmy, I'm calling from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Go ahead. Welcome.
I called to just join you guys and found the show, but I know what the discussion you guys discussed about. The other person explained that I know he's the host or he hosting. He said that John Weah said he did not make money in the cover of the government, and he says he left money there. And this kind of conversation, I don't know where you go with it.
Can you repeat yourself? We didn't hear that statement you just made.
Okay, so
the one you said about George Weah. Mm-hmm.
He defended George Weah, or he defended who?
Well, you should listen well before calling. I can never defend George Weah, bro. Never. So
okay, now let me come in. Now go.
Caller, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question for Mr. Josh Tulay, especially around institutions. When we were talking about building institutions, and he talked about a Liberty Party. I just want to understand, when we talk about building institution, for example, one of the simple rules of the day is that the issue of transparency and accountability. When last has Liberty Party as an institution ever produced a financial and audited financial report of the party financial activities? I'm asking this question because if you're expecting to take over governance of our country...
Can you call your name and where you're calling from, please?
This is Leo Johnson calling from Hamilton, Ontario, in Canada. So my question is mostly around the issue of accountability and transparency. If we have political party thinking about taking over state governance, I'm wondering, is there any copy or record of the Liberty Party as an institution ever producing an audited financial report, annual audited financial report for us to be able to reference? Because like they say, if you want to know if an institution is properly run and well managed, just look at the financials. It tells all the story. Thank you.
Liberty Party have produced financial reports many times. If they have a financial report right now, I don't have any idea. I've never asked in the last couple of years because, like I said, I've been out of the country, and until recently, for a while, I was telling Anthony the last time, for a while I was disinterested in Liberian political issues, and for good reason too. Okay, but if you ask me, I have seen Liberty Party. I know the people who ran the financials in the party. They produce reports. Okay, and as any financial institutions, I mean, any institution must have financial report where the financial reports audited. No, and there is a reason why there were no audits on those financial reports. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you, and it's not restricted to Liberty Party. Liberia as a whole, like we already said initially, Liberty Party did not have a system where partisans. It was not the partisans contributed everything that was used to run the party, like in the West, where you say individual, wealthy individual contributing. No. Because every time we had things that needed to be done, people came in and said, I will take care. So sometimes the money did not even come within the central party. Mr. Gayman, you understand what I'm talking about, right? It's not like they gave the money to the central party and say, okay, this is the money that you're going to use for XYZ. No.
So this is what he's talking about. Then you don't have an institution.
No.
Because
the absence of that, Mr. Gayman, does not.
Because a well-established institution will not accept anything outside of the structure. When I was coming on the show today, I went online and I struggled everywhere. I went to everywhere. There were Liberty Party in Liberia. I could not find anything, any structural document on the economy, on health, or anything. And then I even visited a debate between the Unity Party, recent Unity Party document, and they're asking them, what is it that you have? At least CDC has something called the pro-poor paperwork that we can look at and critique. There is nothing. In fact, the guy who is the financial advisor to Dr. Joseph Boyka yesterday said a straight face. He said the economy and the system in Liberia is so dynamic. The world economy is so dynamic that we cannot make any projection, nothing concrete. So we are waiting and we'll see what 2023 brings. Same thing with the Liberty Party. There is nothing that I can download, that you can download, that can say, for the past 10 years, these are the financial statements, these are the economic policy, these are the health policy. Nothing of that kind. If you have it, we'd like to look at it, but it doesn't exist. In the absence of that, you don't have an institution.
Talk like this, when you talk like this, that's how I can come. Don't say it doesn't exist.
If it was there, people will see it.
Understand something? You made a couple of statements that are very farcical. One, you say Liberty Party is not an institution, or the institution in Liberia, the CDC that you support. When was the last time CDC broadcast?
This is not about CDC. We are talking about Liberty Party now.
Oh, no. One soul goes all. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. I am telling you today, the fluid nature of our political occurrences or our political or happenings in Liberia. Let me tell you something today, Mr. Gayman. Since the war, I know fully well that before the war, the NDPL, for instance, I knew about the NDPL, everything about the NDPL I knew as young as I was, because all the people were in my house. But I can tell you the same for every other political party, including my own Liberty Party. The reason is very simple. Liberty Party, like every other political party, they don't have a central secretariat or central administration that has a budget. No. The party runs at the benefit or the largesse of individuals. And because of that, it's hard to produce what you're talking about. If you forecast a budget, where are you going to get the money from to raise the money for that budget? It's just the reality of life. That doesn't mean they're not an institution. They are recognized constitutionally by NEC. They've been given the right to run and function within the Belarus Republic of Liberia. They are political institutions. The fact of the matter is not because they don't publish. If you ask me about Liberty Party plank, or what we call political platform, in 2005, I worked on that platform with people like Gus Jarrett and the late Baron Tar. The platform we had from 2005, we still have it today. Nobody in the Republic of Liberia has been able to produce such a well-detailed developmental document. I am telling you, and I will give it to you so that we can bring it on the show and we talk about it.
Don't give it to me. I want it somewhere where everybody can access it. That is what we call institution.
Let's see. Who is going to commit to paying for the upkeep of a website for the political party? How many persons are going to visit that political party website? Mr. Gayman, man, be a realist. CDC, what is CDC party website?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not about CDC. This is about.
I'm asking you a question. What is CDC?
We got no time.
Before you can question me,
let's go to the
make
closing.
sure your house is in order. Where is CDC political party website?
Let's go to the closing statement here. I'm going to close. They give me 2 minutes to close, and then you follow with your 2 minutes close. And my 2 minutes starts now at 5:30. By 5:31, 5:32, later 5:33, I should be done. I am telling you, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for chiming in. This thing about the Liberty Party has come to the forefront. The Liberty Party is in a free fall. Until those who have vested interest in this party sees it as it is and come to the realization that they do not have a capable leadership, there is a vacuum. The political leadership of the party is suspect. The chairman of the party is a convicted felon. Yet and still, these people call themselves a party or leadership in waiting. Somehow, we have the vice president of the party for political affairs endorsing the candidate of the opposition. It is unheard of. This is all the caveat of a disorganized, uninstitutionalized organization that exists. I would like to say this as a citizen. We want to have a nation that has 2 strong political organizations. So far, CDC is looking at a conglomerate of thieves, of crooks, of liars, and we're talking about one of these. Until they can come together to form a cohesive political party that has an institution to it, it is going to be almost impossible to convince the Liberian people that this political party is ready to unseat this particular leadership of the CDC. Mr. Tulay, thank you very much, and I'll leave it there for you, and I pity you. Hopefully by now, for the next 20 months, you will find solace in building an institution or bringing some semblance of institution to the Liberty Party. Thank you, and we'll see you next Sunday.
All right, my turn. The first thing, they say he who demands equity must come with clean hands. Unfortunately for you, Mr. Gayman, you support CDC. That is one of the biggest contradictions I've ever seen in my life. CDC, you're talking about, you say Musa Benete is a convicted criminal. I know Moba Molu said he met with Obama. He met with Obama. He went on the tarmac. He went into Air Force One and met with Obama when Obama went to Kanneh. That's what he said. It's rather unfortunate that you support a party since its inception till now. It was just that recently they posted some made up document that lacks cohesion, that lacks vision. As the ruling government, they lack any concerted effort at political leadership. We've seen that their stronghold have been undone. That Dillon won in Montserrat County 2 elections in a row, which is a very big achievement, if you ask me. Question Dillon, didn't go to high school, never did anything, yes, but Dillon was able to win in Montserrat County twice. County-wide. So My point to you is this: Liberty Party is not just an institution; it's the second largest constituency in the CPP, even bigger than the party. The man doesn't even have his own constituency. The miracle leader, he doesn't even have a home in Maryland County. He doesn't stay there. He doesn't have any affinity with his people. He's divorced from his people. The only claim to a fame is the fact that he worked with Coca-Cola and he wants to be president of the Republic of Liberia. Liberty Party will support the candidacy of Joseph Boakai. I will say that here today. Okay, no matter what Musa Belete does or doesn't do, the first thing, like I said, he's a polarizing figure, he's a divisive figure, and he's a figure who comes into a place and rancor follows him. And we are going to we are going to put a stop to everything he's going to do. All the destruction he wants to bring in the Liberty Party, the legacy, the vision, the values, the integrity of Councillor Charles Walker Bronski will remain in that party, will outlive even Musa Belete. We'll have people like Fonati Kofa, Ezra Akinsaya, Holder, being chair of that party, Zago and him, he too will come to pass. Liberty Party will outlive him. This issue is not an issue to death. It's an issue that is being resolved as we are speaking. The executive council, the advisory council, like I told you, they have people within the party that have supported this party. People within the party that have supported Councillor Charles Walker Bronski emotionally and financially. They are the members of the executive advisory council, and they will speak to this issue. The issue will be resolved. Yombli Kanga was not placed there because the people just wanted her. She was placed there because the founding father of the party have full confidence in her leadership. And she has shown to date that she's not a polarizing figure. She has shown to date she's not greedy, she's not corrupt. She wants to see the best for the party. And she has resolved her personal conflicts with certain stalwarts of the party. And trust me, the party is in a good place, is in good hands. Despite all that is in the media, we will outlive all of these issues and Liberty Party will stand. So I want to thank those who tuned in today. We'll be here on Sunday. If you want, I will bring the plank of the Liberty Party so that we'll look at it. Maybe CDC can be wise enough to adapt some of the things that are within that plank of the Liberty Party, the platform rather of the Liberty Party. I will tell you about the 4 planks and everything. I'll bring the document on Sunday so that you will see. Even if we have another discussion, we will look into that document. I didn't know that document would have been an issue for you. I will bring it because that is what we did. We did, and we built upon it in 2011. It's still there. We still have it. Who is going to sustain a website for a political party that has issue generating funds? Nobody. So I want to say thanks to everyone who tuned in. Liberty Party is a better political party than CDC will ever be. The Sakamo tree is empty. There's nobody under the Sakamo tree right now because of the ill-fated leadership of George Weah and Monuba Molu and Everthing Koji and Tulay and McGill. You want to question whether you have a government that kills auditors, key auditors, a man who is the head of the IAA, just died in his house. They say he fell down from upstairs, and nothing comes out of it. Auditors, key positions with key portfolios are dying, and nothing is happening. And you want to question my party, Mr. Gayman? Stop that joke. It's not a good thing. So I want to say thanks to all our viewers out there, our listeners. We will be back here on Sunday at 4 o'clock, no matter what. Tune into the same station, the same place, focus on Liberia. I want to thank those in the background. We'll be here on Sunday. God bless all of you. See you then.
We are Liberia. Liberia is our